Okay, now that you have some good information on your website, let's continue looking at a few other factors that will contribute to you maintaining your rankings during the redesign process. One thing that is very important to look at is the current website analytics, because you want to see what your top content is, what your top landing pages are, who is actually referring visitors to your sites. All of this information you can use to figure out which are going to be the very first pages that you start with. If you have a smaller site like the one that I'm working with, it can be the main pages that we'll focus on. However, if you have a larger site, this is a great way to really narrow it down. You can see what is already working for the website, which pages are the most popular, and you can start there. And then you can work your way out to some of the other less popular pages. So what I like to look at is acquisition, and I want to look at the traffic here, and I can look at the channels, and this is going to show me where the traffic is coming from. I have a lot of referral traffic, only a little bit of direct and organic traffic. I can go into each one and see which sites are actually referring traffic, which keywords searchers are using to find the site, and so on. I also like to look under acquisition and search engine optimization. More specifically, I like to look under queries to see what people are actually looking for. This will give me an idea of what keywords are already working for the site. I also like to look at landing pages because this is going to tell me what my top landing pages are. I can see how many people are actually going to the home page and then what the next most popular pages are. Again, this is going to help me narrow down where I actually start. But this is also important to look at because you can use this information after the redesign process and see how things change. Now, during the redesign process, as with the website that I'm working on, right now it is not built on a content management system. However, we have decided to use WordPress instead of HTML to build the site. Now, when you are considering what content management system to use, you don't want to just use any CMS out there. You really want to think about the impact that the CMS is going to have when it comes to SEO. So if this is a lesser known CMS, I'm not saying don't use it, but make sure that you do your research to see how it is going to perform SEO wise. It's definitely something to consider, and that's something that a lot of designers just don't even think about. Now, when you create the new site and when you actually go and launch it, you're going to want to create a new sitemap, both an XML sitemap for the search engines to be able to read and that you can submit to your Google Search Console, as well as an HTML sitemap that you can include on your website. These sitemaps are going to help search engines find and discover new pages and update URLs. So there are tools that you can use to help you create these sitemaps if you don't know how to do them manually. And we're going to look at that a little bit later in the course once we go ahead and launch. But if you're not redesigning the site, SEO-wise, you still want to make sure that you have up-to-date sitemaps. Sitemaps should be updated on a regular basis, especially as you're adding new content. You want to be submitting that to your Google Search Console and your Bing Webmaster Tools accounts, and also updating the one on your site. Now, going back to your Google Analytics or whatever analytics program you decide to use, you also just want to make sure that your tracking is set up. If you want to do specific tracking for specific landing pages, or you want to track specific goals that happen on the site, this is a good time to set that up, because there's no better way to know if what you're doing is working than if you're actually tracking that in some way using some sort of analytics software. So make sure that all the tracking for all of the landing pages that you are setting up is created so that you can compare your before and after results. You also find an SEO checklist for maintaining your rankings that you can download and that you can use while you're going through a redesign process so that you know what to look for, and that you also make sure that you follow all of the steps to keeping your rankings as you go.